Righto, afternoon. Two tiers. It's like a wedding cake with two tiers on it, didn't you? But that's what we're creating, guys and girls. We're creating a two-tier people with them that have and them that don't. And it is dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. Let's wait for a few of you lovelies to pump in the room, and then we'll get chatting. Jamesy Oldgate, hello, darling. How you doing? Nice to see you. To see you, nice. Let me clean my camera up. Is that a bit better? Can you see what's going on? June Gower, afternoon, mate. So I smashed the ceiling today. Plastered it, quite a big one. And I always listen to Radio 2. I don't know about you guys, right? But what happened was I got to the age of 50 and I was into all that music. And then I turned 50 and I automatically tuned into Radio 2. Automatically. It was like it just took over. Now on Radio 2, you get a geezer called Jeremy Vine. I have it on background noise, have a little sync to the songs, blah, blah, blah. But he has a little bit of a talk show where he talks about issues. And there's a big chat today about the mandatory stuff that the National Health are going to be bringing in. And I think, right, hello, gorgeous Frankie. How are you, darling? Have you managed to talk to Simon yet? I'll give him a ring later. Need to try and catch up with Simon. But anyway, so Jeremy Vine's banging on about mandatory. And the reason why they're pushing this all through the media, loving that velo machine of yours. Yeah, it's half good. I've rode it to work today and it's been outside the house. I chain it up to a pole. And the amount of people I'm leaning out the window with, they're taking pictures of it. It's right good fun. You can't miss it. You can't miss it. And I'm the only one in the country with one like that. So if it ever goes missing, you know who it is. So anyway, Jeremy Vine, they're making a big issue about why people in the National Health and that now it's going to be mandatory. Apparently Savage Javid, these idiots, are going to make it mandatory compulsory. The Jeremy Vine show was today. Now, I genuinely believe that many people in the NHS are not having it, right? Now, I'm not really interested in the arguments or the compellingness of whether people are for it or against it or down the middle. That don't bother me. What bothers me is everyone's individual choice of freedom to make their own choice of whether they want to have it. Now, here's the thing. We all generally live with consequences of things that we've done in our lives. Now, once you've had this, it's irreversible. You're going to have to, whatever comes your way, whether greatness or death comes, you're going to have to live with it. But I think that the BBC Radio and all these other mantras are putting it out there now because they're desperate. I think they harp on about it. But there was a woman that phoned in and she was a nurse and she was almost in tears. And I was like, go on, girl. And she turned around and said, look, I think people's individual freedoms to choose whether or not they have it is the most important thing here. Not, is it right? Is it wrong? It doesn't matter. It's whether or not your choice, whether you want to have it, right? And that's key. I'm not interested in the debate. I'm not interested in all these panels of people that sit there and argue for it and argue against it. It's gobbledygook. You ultimately should be the individual that decides whether or not you want to have anything in your life. A cheeseburger. You want to have a cheeseburger? You go and have a cheeseburger. If you're vegan, you go and have a vegan burger. Whatever. Everyone's freedom of choice. So there's no right or wrong in anything. No right or wrong in anything. Your choice. You're sovereign under... What was that just come up behind me? You're sovereign under God. You choose your temple, your body. There's a copper today who's been done or is being pulled over the coals for punching an elderly woman. And listen, if you don't think that in Nazi Germany, and I always use this as a reference because I think it's not that far out of history for us to remember. I'd imagine it was all a bit sinister back then, and it all started off softly before they really went in for the kill. But we're letting them get away with murder. Oh, yes, funny, June, because he mentioned Dr. Killery on the old wonderful Dr. Killery as well. You know, whether Dr. Killery is right or wrong, that don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. Whether you hear it on the radio and you think, oh, yeah, I'll go and have that. Yeah, oh, no. Your choice. You decide. It should be your decision. No one should. And they're saying, oh, you know, there was this woman come on, a doctor in the NHS, saying, well, you know, we've been giving people incentives to have it, you know, free meals, free this, free that. And I'm like, you shouldn't have to insensitize anybody to do anything that they're considering maybe not having. You shouldn't have to try and bribe that's blackmail. It's bribery. I don't care how you see it. When they're doing that, it's blackmail and bribery. You're clever enough to know as individuals what you want in your body and what you don't want. And nobody, and I mean nobody, has the right to tell you, Jeremy Vine, whoever. And they keep see, this is what I'm saying, over the target. They keep referencing social media. They know that social media has got such a grip on everybody. It has. Everybody, look, listen, everyone's got one of these. Everyone's on the bus, the train, at work, scratching their testicles. They're all watching and reading the things that go on here. And you know, generally, you're going to get the God's honest truth on here. If there's a video of a copper belting a woman, it's proper genuine. It's not censored by the BBC or the ITV or the CBN. It's so great about this social media. So great about it. Really is. It truthfully is. So I think that the reason they keep saying, oh, these conspiracy theorists on Facebook, fabulous. Let them see the mere mention of Facebook and YouTube and conspiracy theorists means that I, as a man, am over the target. It means subconsciously I'm having an effect on Jeremy Vine and all these other people, and you all are. Any one of you that put your information out there, that get it out there to an ordinary everyday families in whichever way, whether it's by sharing memes, whether it's by sharing statuses, whether it's been doing your own videos, whether you're making such a difference. You've got they would never ever, the BBC are far too arrogant an organisation, right? They're up there with the gods, to even pay attention. Why is Facebook and see, I see this as a big psychological battle. It really is, because I don't know who it was Lenin or one of them years ago, Trotsky, whoever. It was a Russian man, and he turned around and said, who controls the media controls the minds. And that's how it is. Whether you call it mind control, the media, whether you call it mind control or not, who knows? You know, look, listen, I was doing some searching the other day, right, for Deed Poll, for changing the name, uppercase, lowercase, on Deed Poll, the UK government Deed Poll, right? Now, the next day, a few hours later, I'm flicking down through Facebook. Guess what pops up? Change your name legally. So the algorithms are really, really powerful. It don't matter. Look, listen, you go and search anything now on Google, whether you want a pizza, whether you want a burger, whether you want a DIY outlet, whatever. You go do the search, you'll see it pop up on the algorithms on your Facebook. You'll see it. They try and sell you. They love to sell. It's like, ooh, selling. So when Jeremy Vine, right, I'm going to give a shout out to all you gorgeous people. We're going to do a roll call in a second. We're over the target. When Jeremy Vine and the BBC on the news and that are talking about conspiracy theorists, they're worried. I'm pretty sure that if we wasn't having a dramatic effect on people and people's lives, they wouldn't even mention us. but they know they've lost the narrative and they're trying their hardest to regain it. Now, this woman that phoned in on the show and said no, she was in tears. She said, I'm just about to lose my job as a nurse because I won't have it. And it's my freedom of choice as to whether I have it or not. And she was holding back the tears. You could see that she just wanted to have a meltdown and go into tear mode. You could feel it. I could feel it in this woman, right? And Jeremy Vine's batting her off. Oh, well, you've got to consider everyone's got to have it. Everyone. Guys and girls, I want you to establish one thing. Government has never done anything to protect you. Never, ever, ever is its mantra protection. It don't care. It just wants your control and it wants your money. It wants your soul. That's all it wants. First World War, you didn't go over the trench. They took you out the back. They shot you dead. That's how much they care about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. They really don't. So forget that. Oh, we're doing it for your own safety. No, you're not. You're not. This is all about a control mechanism, right? You should have rung in, Dave. Yeah, tempted to. It's a bit hard when you've got the pink gown on the ceiling and, you're flecking water everywhere. Hello, Jeremy. Oh, I'm putting the pink on. He might have thought I was a sexist. Because that's the thing. These people are so easy to trigger. It's so easy to trigger any of these presenters on these channels. Now, me, when I've interviewed people, I'll often sit back and listen to what they've got to say, and I might agree with it, I might not. Sometimes in myself, I might think no, but I don't really mention it. But you go against the grain with any of these presenters, and they try to wipe the floor with you. That's sad. That is really, really sad. But we're over the target, people. Look, they're mentioning conspiracy theories, whatever these two words, wherever conspiracy theory come from, wherever these words come from, who cares? I don't care. I've heard it's the CIA made it up in the 70s to make you laugh and chuckle when people are giving you real truth. That's fine. If people just want to curtail the line and pop along and put things in their bodies that's in trial phase that no one really knows about, you live with the consequences. You do. You're either going to have a healthy life or these things are going to take their toll on you. And it has taken its toll on many. I've seen a video yesterday of a Turkish man that's had the two jibber jabbers, and there's blood coming out of most orifices in his body right now. I'm not saying, and they're saying again today, oh, we've had 1,000 people this week. And they're saying, oh, our nurses, the hospitals are so overrun. Are the hospitals overrun? I don't think they are they? If they are, I want to see the evidence. Why is it that the media tells us that the hospitals are overrun and we have amateur people go to the hospitals and there's empty walls everywhere? Why? And the big swindle with all of this was the NHS went into panic mode because there wasn't enough respirators. Now, a mate of mine who lives down the road, he works for the NHS. He does all the organ donations. He'll send a heart from wherever up to Norfolk, wherever that's needed, right? He's right powerful in the NHS. I said to him, so what's the big deal? What's the big deal between the flu, pneumonia, H1, M1, swine flu, Ebola? What's the difference? And he said, this one affects the respiratory system bad. I said, so what's the issue? He said, we ain't got enough respirators. I said, well, make more. He went, oh, yeah. I went, simple, isn't it? You put a contract out to a company to make, I don't know, if you, look, there's all these medical firms out there that make medical equipment. I would say if the country pulled in and there was a lack of respirators, there could probably be 1,000 respirators a day made throughout this country to great standards, pump them into the hospitals, put people on respirators, right? Job done. And he went, yeah, you made a good point there. I said, just make more respirators. There ain't enough ventilators. I said, make more. The amount of money that institution wastes, but it don't waste it, you see, because it's all about debt slavery. That's why a bag of chemotherapy is £8,000 a go. It's basically mustard gas. I don't know whether you know what chemotherapy is, but chemotherapy is about £8,000 a bag. Tell me that's not a big swindle. How can mustard gas, which they were throwing in the trenches years ago, they were probably putting them together for tuppence halfpennies. How can a bag of that people say, oh, it's the research, you know? Well, no, they've researched it. That's all done. That argument don't stack up. A bag of chemo, 6-8 grand. Each one. It's all to keep you in debt slavery, ladies and gentlemen. That's all this is about. All these financial institutions, all these institutions, it's about debt slavery. It's about keeping you, your loved ones, your future people that are coming into the world, get them into debt, get them into the slavery-based system. Bob's your uncle. You never own nothing, apparently, but you're going to be very happy, says Klaus Schwartz. Stuff him. He can kiss my Billy arse. Melinda Galligan. Is that right, Galligan? Hello, Melinda. Nice to see you. Patsy Valentine. All right, Joel. Kerry Ann. June Gower. Let's have a little roll call. Stefan Maximus. All right, my son. How you going? Maximum, not Maximus, but I like Maximus. I think maybe you should change it. Frankie McElwaran. Freedom of information request was put into Parliament to see how many had the vaccine. Answer was sorry. Human rights apply. We can't tell you. There you go. Transparent. I'm transparent. Whatever I do say, whether you like it, whether you don't, it doesn't matter. I'm transparent. I just want the best for you. I want the best for your families. I don't want to see you turfed out on the streets by dodgy bailiffs because you can't pay your council tax. I don't want your kids being stolen by social services without due process of law. I don't want you having your properties stolen from you without due process of law. It's all got to stop. And this all ramped up when they got rid of the death penalty. I don't know whether you noticed this, but when they got rid of treason, they said, oh, no, treason's not really going no more. High treason still carries a death penalty. But that's why they wanted to do this, because they wanted the public servants wanted to go on a rampage. And they've gone on a rampage. And who are the public servants? They're the massive corporations. They're the big GlaxoSmithKline welcome. It's just, that's all they're interested in. They couldn't care about you. They don't care about your health. They just want you on the drugs. They want you on the gear. They want to keep that big machine going. They have to keep turning this GDP of a country. They have to keep turning it over with the fiat currency. Fix it again tomorrow. That's all this is about. It's not about anything else. 60,000 says Patsy Ballantyne. Junie Gale's in. Let's have did I say your name right, Melinda? I did, darling. Guillain-Barré syndrome, hemorrhage, strokes and Bell's palsy now admitted as a side effect. And that's in the Times and the Express. Well, sweetheart, you know. Guys, look after your temple. That's all I'm going to say. Let's go back to the beginning and have a little roll call. We've got James the Oldgate. Hello, darling. Lovely to see you. Junie Gower, as always. Pleasure to see you. Kerry Ann, I love you. Johnny Osborne, I'm just a man. Love it to see you. Trevor Good, Frankie McElwaran, Chrissy Dunn. Deb Starr, hello, mate. How you doing? Truth Seeker. We've got Truth Seeker in. We've got who else we got? Yeah, that's about it. I do believe if I've not mentioned your name, Johnny Osborne. Hello, gorgeous. Just say the word and we'll give you a little roll call. How's about that? So what do we make of this Travis Scott concert at the weekend? Mate, listen, I'm going to let you put in the comments what you think happened at this Travis Scott concert. Fat Bob, all right, Gorge, nice to see you, darling. Hope you're all right. I've been to work today, plastering. I've been up there in my Velomobile, cycled up there this morning. It was a bit misty, overcast and raining, but it didn't matter because I'm nice and dry. Deb Starr says, I'm all good, thanks, Dave. Well, that's fabulous, darling. That's fabulous. Truth Seeker says that the Travis Scott situation was satanic. And do you know what, Squire? I agree with you. Joanna G. Joni G. All right, Dole. She says satanic ritual. Big time. Mick Ramo. But then everyone else, right? And this is what amazes me. Everyone laughs at you. Everyone laughs. Oh, no, it's not nothing satanic, is it? Of course it's not. Well, carry on with that mantra. When I watched what had happened there, right, I'll go back to the scripture and I'm thinking that is Sodom and Gomorrah. What the hell is going on in these places, man? Maybe it's all the double jabbed. Maybe all the double jabbed was at this Travis Finn concert and maybe they sent the frequency out. Who knows? I don't know. I don't think the population of our country are that stupid that I would say I can't see there being more than 50% of people of this nation that have had the jabs. I don't think there is. I think the media spin. That's all they do. That's all Vine does. That's all the BBC does. That's all they do is they're spin doctors. That's it. Propaganda. That's it. They can't tell you what's on their heart. They're scripted. They're told what they can and can't say. Not me. It's like Chrissy Morris. I'll give you an example. My gorgeous little bald mate, Chrissy Morris, he said his head's a solar panel for a sex machine. And do you know what? I agree with him. He got in to become a local councillor a few years ago, right? And he's been putting a thorn in their side for many, many years. And they despise him. And why do they despise him? Would they despise him if he just went along with their mantra? If he went along with their tyranny? No, because he's very vocal, he's very on point, and he says exactly what needs to be said. But because he wants to change things and to stop them having this big swindle, because that's all council tax and all these other bits is about, swindling. He's coming under increasing pressure from the council, from women and men in this council, telling him he got no right to be there, and he has, because his local people voted for him. He's an independent councillor, and he's not moving, he's not bending. But why do they hate him? Because he won't sing from their rubbish. He wants to change it for the people. Now, at the weekend, the husband of one of the women that obviously has been at home and yarning her husband's ear hole about what Chrissy had done, he's gone round to pick a spoil with Chrissy, and he's assaulted. But what he failed to realise is Chrissy is a cage fighter and a professional boxer and had his own boxing gym for many years. Well, this guy's come off quite sore. He's got a couple of big black eyes, and I'm sure today they're probably coming right out. He's probably got greens, blues, reds all in his face, and he was marched off of his mate's house where he assaulted Chrissy in handcuffs by the police. And my goodness, you just got to question what the hell's going on. So, you know, I think that the social media element, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams are prolific. The internet has failed to do what the people that designed it and how they were going to use it, it's working against them. And they can't pull it. That's the thing. They can't pull this stuff. Yeah, they can get RC and say, oh, we don't like your content, this, that, the other. That's fine. If you get blocked for speaking the truth, so be it. Wear it like a badge, because your freedom of speech is as important as your freedom to make choices. If you're not completely free to make your own choices in your own lives about certain situations, I don't care what they are, whether they're trivial or whether they're big time, and they've got implements and big things that come with making them decisions, it doesn't matter. Your choice, your freedom is king. It has to be, and it has to be maintained. If we lose the right to keep our freedoms, and that this government can come around and start injecting you against your will and against your wish and forcibly hold you down, then I'm afraid, guys, that's a lost country. Travis Scott and Drake were born 66 months, 6 days apart. Well, there you go. Jamesy Goddard, hello, darling. Nice to see you. Came on. Nice to see you. I think we got a few more popped in the room now. It's wonderful. Who we got? Truth Seeker. Tony Tiger Varley. What a dude he is. Love him. Mickey Ramo. Good afternoon, my old son. 5G. You're making a good comment there. You know, this, and because we've had a kid killed by a dog as well in Caerphilly or somewhere in Wales. The dog got shot. And look, don't get me wrong. If a dog's killed a kid, I understand, you know, that's really bad. It's really bad. But to shoot it, I don't know. It depends on the situation, but I don't understand why they don't call vets out just to dart them and sedate them and put them out that way. The old Bill, they love getting their guns off, don't they? They love getting their guns off. Now, I'm the same with my tools. You know, I might not use them all the time. I might get my plastering tools out once every 2 months. But when I get them out, I think, cool, I'm going to use these today. I'm going to push that in there and make it have it. So I think the police are the same with all these weapons, these taser sticks and all these other things, the anal beads. I think they just sometimes they got to work it and make it have it. Look at that story I told you yesterday about the guy. They've come round his house. They haven't found a dicky bird. They haven't found nothing, right? They've done a thorough search of his bumhole. They've done the lot. We know the police love your bumholes. They love them, mate. They love that little dot. They hone in on it. I don't know why. I don't know. It's because they love shit so much, whether they're flies or I don't know, pond life. I don't know. But they seem to love your bumholes. And I'm going to tell it how it is. I don't care because they offend me in their actions far worse than any words that come out of my mouth. They've assaulted him in his house. They've cuffed him, rolled him in a van. They've taken him down to the station, a 5-mile trip on his chin. He's rolling around this motor in the back of the cage and this copper's laughing his head off. He's laughing. He's laughing. And if you think that's normal and if you think that's acceptable, don't worry about it. Just let it go. See what the future is going to bring you. June Gower said, I spoke about English history and blocked for 30 days. It is a fact what I said. They don't like the English. They don't. Look, we haven't got an English parliament. We've been subverted. And the whole of these people are treasonous. Government is treasonous. We absolutely have to have an English parliament. And they're now talking on the radio. Do we need people in government that are common to man, that are workers, that they should only get the salary if they're going to go in? They shouldn't have other jobs, and we should have more people in government that hit the ground running in all these big dollars. I mean, I don't know. I'm sick of it. I think we got. Is 5G having an effect on animals that have been chipped? You don't know, Frank. You don't know. I'm on the understanding that all these the jabs that the animals have, I think it shortens their lives. I really do. I had 2 beautiful Rottweilers, and they used to go for their boosters once a year and stuff. And they're both dead. You can. I don't know if you can see them on my phone, my screensaver. Look at my 2 babies. Look, no longer with me. Look, I love them dogs so much. I really did. And strangely, where I'm working, she's got a little 6-month-old Labrador puppy. So I've been having a cuddle and a roll around the floor with that this afternoon, called Cookie. So, I'm not too sure whether all this stuff, it's and they both died of similar things, problems in the gut. They had veins and all that disappear in the gut. You've got to wonder, haven't you? We can't wait to get a jab, whatever in the body. We think it's our hero. We think it's our savior. We think it's going to save us. Is it going to save us? I don't know. I think a decent immune system and good eating, and when you look at the diets of most people in this country, pizzas, burgers, chips, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. Soft drinks, loads of Coca-Colas, loads of Roller Colas, all these bits and bobs. That's not food. It's not good for you. But we don't teach health. We don't say to people, look, eat living foods, eat salads, eat loads of salads, have loads of veg, drink good clean water, distill your water, take good vitamins and minerals. It's going to do you far greater than having these poisons slapped into your body, because then that's an immune system suppressant, and then your immune system's got to come to terms with what's been put into it and try and adjust. And many people sadly are not adjusting. They're not adjusting. My personal opinion is government, with their numbers, with how they put it on the media of what's going on, I think they're absolute liars, proper liars. And you know what? I think justice needs to be done. I think we need to take back control of our country. I really do. I think it's what I'm here for. I would love to see everyone happy again. Everyone be happy. All the bad stuff stop, and let us become prosperous again. Let us have leaders that bolster the people and make them great. Can you just imagine how fabulous that would be? I wasn't an anti-vaxxer until I researched it during this pandemic. There you go, mate. There you go. God bless you for tuning in. Police kidnapped a 10-year-old on Sunday outside his house and arrested his mother. Neither have been seen since. Jesus, really? Where's that, Frank? Kelvin Tyrrell. Hello, darling. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. Chrissy Dunn says, June Gale, I know the corrupt politicians would run like the cowards they are, leaving some sort of new EU Nazi SS officers behind to do their fighting. Yeah, mate, you know that, didn't you? You just know that. I'm ready to take it back, says James Oldgate, and we love you for it, mate. We really do. Chemicals or alchemy more magic. Guys, eat proper. Take your good vitamins D's. Take your cod liver oils, take your irons. Take all your other bits and bobs you need. Eat good food. Make sure you're getting good nutrition into you. If you can, grow your own. Tap water, one of the dirtiest things. But people won't switch their brains on. People won't engage, and people won't go, I wonder if it's something that I'm doing that's harming me. Hippocrates, the founder of medicine, that the doctors all take a Hippocratic oath. Hippocrates said, before you help someone heal themselves, ask them, are they prepared to give up the things that made them sick in the first place? That's Hippocrates. Now, I'm careful on what I eat. I make sure I get good, solid foods. I make sure it's good living food. I make sure it's healthy. I don't have all the fizz. I stop fizzing and I feel fabulous. I haven't had a cold through this time period. I know, guys. I'm a walking miracle. And this nurse has said throughout all of this time period on the Jeremy Vine show, she said, I've worked non-stop and I've not had these jabs. She said, and I'm just fine. She said, and if I was to catch it, I'd probably get over it anyway. 99.5% survival rate. It's nuts, people. It is absolute nuts. Vaccines are a total hoax designed to cause illness and make big profits for Big Pharma. Well, there you go. There you go. In a nutshell, brother, you've hit it right on the nose, let me tell you. June Gow, I'm going to seek asylum in the US, and the English are oppressed and suppressed in our country because of the corrupt British state. June, you ain't too far wrong. It's the British establishment that's the enemy. Make no mistake about it. It's not the English, it's not the Scottish, it's not the Welsh, it's not the Irish. It's the British state. The British are a foreign invading, occupying force. Mate, I'm telling you, and we could do ourselves a favour. We could reinstate and make Parliament an English Parliament, and we can get rid of all the traitors or bring the traitors home. Look, I don't want to hurt any politician. I know some of you might think that, but if we go out hurting and maiming these people, we're as bad as them. All right, we need to bring them back to the rule of law. We need an English Parliament. We absolutely do. And I implore anyone that's in the services, in the armies, in the veterans, if you can't see what's going on in your country now, well, I think in the next year or two, you're going to absolutely see it. But then it might be too late. Who knows? June Gow, she's going to seek asylum. Maybe the chip will work the same. Got to get the animals gone to. Unchip will be a cull of some virus or something. Like always. When I was a kid and I got a snivelly nose and a bit of a temperature and my legs were wobbling, my mum would say, I'm going to take him to the doctors. And she'd take me to the doctors and the doctor would pull my tongue out, put one of them little... Do you remember them sticks? They used to have like a bit... I used to think I thought myself, they have some flipping big lollies in these doctor surgeries. These lolly sticks were about that wide and you used to stick it in the middle of your tongue and you go, Anna. And you say, shut up, you little shit. And he's going, oh, he's got a virus. I can see it at the back of his face. He's got a virus. Right, what are you going to give him? Antibiotics? No. Just go home, give him onion, lemon and all that stuff. Wrap him up warm and let him work it out. And you might have the shivers and the fevers. And if the stuff was really getting you down, all medications when I was a kid was a tincture. It was a liquid. It was from cannabis. It was from marijuana. It was from the plant. It was all hemp-based. And you used to get it down you. And you go, oh, wallop. And it used to fix you up. I think we need to get back to them times. All these pharmaceutical companies, mate, I'm telling you. And why are they immune from prosecution? Why are everybody in pharmaceutical, in Pfizer and all these other ones immune from prosecution? Why? Don't understand it. We're speaking about it last night on a global jury somewhere down south of England somewhere. Bless your heart. We need an English parliament. The Scots have got one, the Welsh have got one, the Irish have got one. Why haven't the English got an English parliament? Because we've been taken over. We accept a needle, but not the white lines in the sky. Yes, Kerry Ann, love you. Mass immigration dilutes the resistance. Well, it kind of does and it doesn't. I mean, I think we're just so unbrave. It's unbelievable. British government is the parasite of every corrupt country in the world, big time. The British are people say, "Well, you English?" Yeah, I'm not British. No, fuck the Brits. It's a foreign occupation. They've smashed the granny out of us. They took us into slavery. I think the British Empire is from Rome. I think the Roman curates, the Pope, is really what's behind the British Empire. I do believe it's Rome. I certainly don't think it's homegrown and organic. I think the British Empire is foreign interference. And when I say foreign to this nation, it's Rome. Rome runs the show. The nuncio is the main man for the Pope for Great Britain. So Claudio Gucciarati, I personally think we need to discommunicate from the papacy. I think we need to kick the Pope and tell him to jog on. I don't think there's a lot that he could do. I think we need to take back and rebuild our own country. I genuinely do. I hate seeing the abuses because I think it's needless. I think abuse by the police, the system, the courts, everything, it's needless. There's no genuine reason for it, because when your country and the people of your country are happy, they're pleasant, they see the value of goodness, then your country will explode and your country will become great again. It really, really will. But we have a system of downtroddenness. We have a system of a penal system where you work the word penal out for yourself. They just want to stick it to you 24 hours a day. The police want to stick it to you. They're just waiting for you to go through a 36 in a 30, and they can't wait to stick it to you. And how do they stick it to you? They come around, drag you out your house. They take you to these fake courts, and they just want to find the shit out of you. And I detest it. I absolutely detest it. And there's only one way to sort this out. One foul swoop, one day, you end it all. I don't think there's any other way apart from take back your country, take back control. But are people brave enough? Are people seeing it enough? I think once they do see it, it could be a different story. Backed up with a Nazi fetched in by the British after the wars, Dave. Maybe, Chris. Who knows? Lauren Page, hello, darling. Vatican, Colombia, and City of London for the Western world. These are the main three countries. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Just got to go and pick up my little lady. God bless. Look at yourself, Kelv. Yeah, we've been on here almost 40 minutes now, and all, ladies and gentlemen. So Travis Scott, this concert, what was that all about? There was people in that arena that were struggling for breath. There was people in that arena that have come out with testimonies saying, we was in a trance. It was demonic. Are they lying? Did what they see not really happen? Are they conspiracy theorists? Are they nutters? All these people that said there was something going on there that wasn't right, and they're now all seeing that this Travis Scott and that music thing as being something quite demonic. And remember, demonic is all about death and destruction. It's when you see all the, to me, that epitomized Sodom and Gomorrah. If you want to read about Sodom and Gomorrah and then watch that Travis Scott stuff, you might go, actually, yeah, the man's got a point. Get your placenta back. Yes, Kerry Ann. The placenta is dried out. Those, some people take them home and disperse them, or people, but generally the placenta is the afterbirth, is the thing that they register and that they hold in the Vatican, because they can't hold us, the soul. They take a soul print of us, they put our footprint on the bottom of a piece of paper, they take that and they attach it and they dry the placenta out and they put the placenta with it. Now, I guarantee you, in the Vatican, will be my sole of my footprint when I was a baba and the dry placenta. And people think you're crazy when you talk about this stuff. That's the God's honest truth. What I always say to people, what is it about the God's honest truth you can't handle? Why do you lend your ear to the deception rather than listening to the God's honest truth and taking in the God's honest truth? I've said many times, may God strike me down if I'm lying. May he strike me down and take me out now. But I just care about people. I don't see why we have to be beaten by people that chose to serve and protect. Why are we now being beaten? Why is an elderly woman being a frail elderly woman being punched in the face by a policeman? What? How is that ever right? How can that ever be justified? How can that ever be swept under the carpet? Do we think that's isolated? Probably not. How's that ever right? It's never right. It's wrong on every level. Any copper that abuses anyone is wrong on any level. I know it's a tough job. I know they see things like road traffic. I know they see death. I know that. But you chose to do that for a living. You chose. And to me, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. If I can't do my job, I wouldn't do it. And that's the thing with policing. If you've got to a point where you've lost your mind and you're more than happy to terrorize and beat the shit out of people, maybe it's time you changed your job. Yeah. Maybe it's time, because you're going to be judged for your book of deeds. Quite the Bible, the heavenly scripture is very clear that everything is seen, and it depends on where you're going to go. So if you want to beat and bludgeon people all the time in the name of keeping the peace and keeping the law, well, you might fool the people, but you're not fooling God. And that's the truth. You're not going to fool God. He will hold you accountable for everything that you do. He clearly says in his word, if you spill your brother's blood, I'm having yours. And that's in scripture. All right. That is absolute scripture. So up to you, police. Carry on doing what you're doing. You murder someone in the cell and you think I've got away with it, and my Freemason mates have hidden me up. Your Freemason mates worship Satanism, guys. That's what they do. They're satanics. They love, it's a guise for Satanism. Well, God don't see it like that. You know, he doesn't pay his debts in wages. He doesn't pay it in money. So be careful of what you allow. I've always known within myself, it's about where your soul goes. You know, if you keep your soul intact, and when you leave your mortal coil, you should go to a good place. I wasn't given full disclosure on contract. Exactly. What would happen if you got your placenta buried by a vicar? Lord only knows. Frank McEweran says the placenta is also the anchor when they throw it over the side of the ship. Then you've got your 4 morning ropes. Jeepers creepers, Frank. You come to mooring ropes. Morning ropes? What's all that about? Satan is mute. He cannot speak. Symbols and signs are how he communicates. Wrong there, brother. So, you know, this Travis Scott, that's the first time, man, that I think there's ever been a concert aired where it's so in your face. So in your face. To me, it's undeniable of what's gone on there. And yeah, he's come out, oh, boo, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. I didn't realise what was going on. I'm praying for everyone. And yeah, whatever, crocodile tears. That man could have stopped at any point. He didn't. And then someone took his shoe off and he's going, fuck him up, fuck him up, fuck him up. And a kid almost lost his life because it's just, no, I'm never going to get that mentality. Beating and maiming people, I'm never going to get. Never going to get it. The spore, moorings, ropes, or your birth certificate, your baptism, your company certificate, and your deed poll name. Wow! Wonderful. Frank, I'll give you a call a little bit later. Yeah, because you're a top man anyway. Elliot Flynn, blatant. There you go, bruv. There you go. So, Jeremy Vines and all these others, I think they now know that we're at a point where they're losing or have lost their narrative. The BBC, the British Buggering Corporation, turned around 2 years ago and said, we, in a few years, will not be airing the 6 o'clock news and the 10 o'clock news because no one's tuning in. Do you realise what's happened, people? People have shifted. They've shifted their mind and their focus and their loyalty has shifted. I know so many people now that won't watch the news. I will not have the news on in this house. That's it. It's just not happening. Birthed into commercial water certificate for trading. There you go. There you go. You know, look, we're all working to bringing back greatness in whatever way we can. We need to do it. Attaining money on fraud, definition of person in maritime law for another group of men and women on here. Bank manager, councils, you're picking the wrong side. Absolutely. Oh, council workers. They've sold out, mate. They've lost their soul. They will bash the granny out of a man or a woman to get their 30 silver pieces. They've lost. They've got no argument. They're just lost souls. Let them stay lost. If they don't want to turn, if they want to carry on in their evil, wicked ways, let them reap what they sow. And they will reap what they sow. Oh, boy bumming club. You ain't too wrong far there, Chris. Let me tell you. I'll go back to E17, Brian Harvey. You know, I've never spoke to Brian. I'd like to. He's mentioned my name a few times on videos, and I'm like perplexed as to why he's done that. But nonetheless, he has. He said to me, I couldn't handle the truth. I said, well, I thought to myself, well, I am kind of in the truth thing, you know. That's where I cut my gravy. But nonetheless, some of the stuff he see years ago after his Top of the Pop shows with glass panel doors opening up and men and that with kids doing all sorts of things behind me. Couldn't work out if he was seeing it in real time or his mind was playing tricks on him. But man, let me tell you, it's not nice. Poor kids, you know, any child. I mean, I would personally, any man or woman that's abused a child, mate, they would properly feel the full force of the law. Guys, I want to, and I will get this country back to greatness. And I'm going to do it with you lot. You're all going to come with me. We're all going to stand side by side. We're all going to come together. We're all going to fix this lot up. We're going to work it all out, and we're going to go, and we are going to get our country back. We're going to be taking the old bill with us. We're going to be taking the army with us. We need to do this. This country is becoming rotten to the core. And the sad part about it is it doesn't have to be. It really doesn't have to be. It is in the Bible. You are a vessel you have to dock it to the land. Yes, mate. You're right, Frank. You are right. By the commercial water of Babylon, where we sat down, oh, we wept when we remembered Zion. That's a Boney M song, isn't it? Yeah, that's a Boney M song, that really is. Yeah, no, we will get our country back because the evil's got to stop. Spear thrower, hello, darling. Nice to see you. Good afternoon, me old gorgeous. Where we go one, we go all. We should be that mentality, John. We should have the veterans on side. You know, we should have all the good soul. I don't care about your colour. I don't care about you. I don't care about whatever it is you've got going on in your life, whether you, whatever. You know, deal with it. Just let's all come together, right? Let's all just stand side by side. Let's go and get our country back. I was up there on the 5th. The 5th of November, Friday night, and opposite Downing Street is the back gates, I think, or front gates of Scotland Yard. And there's 3 coppers stood there behind the gates, and it just, mate, it sends chills down my spine. It is like watching a scene out of a film of Nazi Germany. What have we become, man? And listen, you won't never hold these motherfuckers accountable now. They've gone too far. The only way you're going to do this is to take your country back and to stand them all down in one foul swoop. But you're going to have to be semi-brave. You're going to have to talk to your friends and your families and say, do you know what? Let's go and have a day out. Let's go and have a day out. Let's get 1 million of us down there. Let's bring our politicians back to the rule of law. That's all we got to do. No violence, no aggro, no destruction. Back to the rule of law. How we were governed for centuries. We still have the rule of law, apparently. I'm not too sure whether we do. But if we could do that as a nation and as a people, we bring our politicians back to the rule of law and say, look, listen, we're now all equal and subject to the law. That means every copper's equal to you, and that they must have proper lawful excuse for doing what they're doing to you. They then go back to being serving like the fire brigade serve, like the NHS people serve. We're all here to serve, apparently. But who are we serving? It seems to me now they're serving a corporate alliance. They're servicing and protecting corporations. They're not serving and protecting us. The essence, the soul, the life. No, mate, they're not. They left us a long time ago, and we need to get it back. The merchant will mourn for Babylon. Yes, they will, Cayman. You are right, man. No scripture. A club in London, pick your door, pick your kink. Oh, my goodness me. It's written on stone, Cayman. You're right, mate. Oh, you know, I've just been going through Proverbs. I love my scripture. It keeps me sane. It keeps me sane in this crazy world. And the first line of Proverbs, to know wisdom and instruction, to discern the words of understanding, to receive instructions in wise dealings, in righteousness and judgment and equity. Proverbs is all about maxims of law, to give subtly to the simple. Why is our law so confusing? Why is it? Oh, no, you need a solicitor. No, I don't. Why? You should never need a solicitor to sort stuff out. To live to the young man knowledge and discretion, that the wise may hear and increase in learning. Proverbs is, it's just fabulous. You know, there's a lot of scripture that brings tears to my eyes. Police don't serve, they force. You ain't kidding. That's why they're beating you up in your houses now. It's like the Gestapo. It's like the Nazi Gestapo. It's seriously. There's no other way around it. It's when a man in a uniform that doesn't have lawful excuse can come into your house, kick 7 bells out of you, and get away with it, you're in trouble. As a nation, you're in trouble. I don't care what you say. And you keep taking the hits, and they're going to just keep coming. They're animals. They've gone too far. They work for Luciferians, let me tell you. So, guys and girls, they might start listening when the molly starts to fly. Mollies start to fly. Hang on. Mollies? What are we chatting about? Mollies. Mollies. Hang on. Explain that one to me. Policy enforcers. They're animals. Corporate is legal, which is the undoing of God's law. There you go. And it says that. It does say that in scripture. You know, it says keep my law. It says don't depart from it. And when you want to return to it and use it. Don't see, the Bible's very specific on how to defend yourself, because it says in Ephesians that you wrestle with principalities and rulers of darkness and the unseen. And it says, don't try and fight your own battles. Ephesians is basically saying, you try and fight your own battles, you're going to lose. Because he says, if you eat from the tree of knowledge, you're going to die. But if you eat from the tree of life, you'll surely live. So I use scripture in many of what I send to whoever that's coming at me and that, and they just generally just go away and leave me alone. And it's because I'm using that Molotov. Well, yeah, Molotov cocktails. You know, I don't want to see the violence. I don't want to see any coppers get hurt. I know it sounds thingy, but I don't want to see violence. I want a peaceful solution and righteous solution to all of this. I really do. And I think unless we as a people stand up and are counted, I think we are the generation that have to stand up. We have to be counted. We have to do what's right. I wish the nurse would learn about symbolism, find out one of the uniforms and ones with a devil's belt. You ain't kidding there. I'm not dead, so I don't need someone to talk for me. There you go. Guys and girls, listen, I'm going to get going. I'm going to go into the gym and I'm going to do a little bit of a workout. It's 3:30. It is Tuesday. We're pushing on in November now. I'm trying to think what day it is. It's about the 9th, isn't it? Yes, the 9th. The 9th, Tuesday the 9th of November. And it's quite a mild day. This crap E10 pump piss poor. Well, it's quite funny because I'm cycling past me fuel stations at the minute in my Velomobile, and so fuel prices, diesel and petrol ain't just not really affecting me. I'm carrying on doing everything I want to do, and Bob's your uncle. So yeah, where there's a will, there's a way, guys. I've always managed to find that one. Molly petrol, bro. Frankie, behave yourself. This crap E10 pump piss probably won't burn properly. No, Bud Presser, lovely to see you, but I'm just about to shoot off. So, guys and girls, Think about what you're doing. Make your own choices. If anyone tries to force you, say, no consent is given. Just keep repeating that mantra to them. Whatever they're writing to you, whatever they're saying, just reply, no consent is given. They need your consent. The dark has to have your consent to move forward. No consent. My mate was in a police cell quite a few years ago, and they took his DNA. And because he didn't consent, the copper said to him, "You didn't consent to this, did you?" He went, "No." He said, "Come with me and witness the destruction of that." So they destroyed what they were going to put on a DNA file of his, and they destroyed it in front of him. Why? Because they didn't have consent. We hold the power, guys. You're more powerful than you know. Maintain your power, maintain your peace. Seek and learn and increase in knowledge and wisdom, just as Proverbs tells you and instructs you to do. If you haven't got a Bible, get one. It's the law. It's not religious. It's not a fiction. It's the law. This whole system is based upon that book. It's a biblical trust. I'll see you all soon. Love every single one of you. Let's make our country great again.